Most people hear the word psychopath, this is what they imagine. Explosive, dangerous, and out of control. But in developmental psychology, we learned that that picture is almost completely wrong. So what is the right picture? Instead of starting in adulthood, traits linked to psychopathy can show up very early and as early as the age of 3, but they don't come off as violence, but as a specific emotional profile called callous unemotional traits. These are not evil behaviors. They describe the patterns like low empathy, shallow emotional reactions, and reduced guilt after misbehavior. And these traits are important because they are actually a specifier of conduct disorder in the DSM-5 Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, meaning researchers use them to identify a small group of children who follow a more persistent and severe trajectory from the typical conduct problem case. According to neuroscientist James Blair, children with high callous unemotional traits show significantly lower amygdala activation when they see fear, sadness, or distress in other people. Typically, our amygdala works like an emotional smoke detector. For most children, it fires strongly when they see someone cry or witness something intense. But in high CU trait kids, the alarm barely activates. The signal is present, but is always faint. And because these emotional circuits are so atypical from such a young age, including the way a child develops, such as their sensitivity to rewards, punishments, and social cues, can diverge from most children. Over time, genetics and environment guide which children will follow a path that is persistent towards high CU traits. Long-term studies, including SE Binding's twin research, show that CU traits have a strong heritable component. Most children with conduct problems, nearly 80% of them, do not grow up into adult psychopaths, but the other 20% have their pathways shaped by their genes and this altered emotional learning system. Another key finding is that punishment doesn't work the way adults expect it to be. Blair's work showed that discipline based on fear learning is less effective when the fear circuitry is under-responsive. But studies by Abigail Marsh and others show that the reward systems are intact, sometimes even more reactive. These children learn far better from structure, warmth, and consistent rewards than from guilt or threats. Our goal isn't to fix a child. We must remember to create an environment where emotional cues are much clearer, expectations are predictable, and adults reinforce pro-social behavior from early age. With the right approach, these children are not locked into antisocial outcomes because their development path can shift profoundly based on their environment. And when we replace fear with understanding, we can stop labeling these kids as dangerous and start recognizing the developmental systems that shapes their behavior. And when adults respond to that system, we can inflict change and stop reacting to the stigma and change our outcomes and the futures for these kids.